Forever since we've done one of these. How are you? I am Jaws Blake, as you well know. This is the Painter's Breakfast. Long awaited, perfect in every way. So, for those who don't know, the Painter's Breakfast, we eat food, we drink drinks, we say hello to the producers. Hello, Producer Tom. And we talk about whatever. And art. Also art. We talk also about art. So, I have been gone for a bit. This show has been on hiatus. I've had so many health issues. I'm okay now. But it was really kind of exhausting, so I took some time off. I appreciate everybody who stuck around. I have been doing kind of little videos, little check-ins, etc. Just so you know, the painter's life and everything that goes along with it. But it's been good, honestly. It's been good. I was a little sick. I had to go to the doctor. That was kind of a miserable experience. My diabetes was kind of giving me issues. But I feel like I've got a better grasp on it. So this is called girlfriend pasta. It was a recipe put in the New York Times. And it's essentially, you cut up a bunch of tomatoes, you add salt, you add olive oil, onions, peppers, etc. And then you just kind of, you don't cook them. You let them all kind of marinate, and then you make your pasta, and you add it together. It's actually very good. Really, really, really good. And you add like Parmesan and goat cheese and stuff like that. It's actually really good, surprisingly. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I am, but it really is actually pretty good. So, mostly I have been trying in the last month, week, something of that nature, to just stay active with everything, you know? Just kind of keep it all moving forward. And so far, it's been really well. It's worked out really well. It's been received quite well as far as the art goes. I'm working on this one behind me. I'll show you that one in a little bit. I've been filling up a lot of sketchbooks. Been working on a lot of ideas on stuff that I want to do. Let me see. I subscribed to you. Oh, thank you, Samantha. That's so nice of you. Hi. Gabriel. Hi. How are you? So, let me see. Things to let you know about. I went to the Hirshhorn. There's this big round museum. Hi, Dominic. There's this big name a car for name a car for an edit. No. I shall not. I went to the Hirshhorn, and it was really beautiful. It's this little round, lifesaver-shaped museum in DC. Dominic says Tesla, so you guys figure it out. I'm not opposed to you having entire conversations while I do this. You are about to get famous, is what Amid says. Do a Tesla. So sorry. Bye. Okay. Well, good luck. And I drive a Mazda. There you go. There's a car for you. It was just really beautiful. They had this like interactive music, like kind of like a theremin in a way. Like you touch it and then the sounds changed, except it was with light. So you put your hands under lamps. and it makes different noises. And you have headphones on. That was cool. There was another one that was kind of like had like a crank to it, and as you put different pieces of paper on the, I'm trying to think, you put different pieces of paper on the wheel basically as it rotated, it would change the music, and it was like the different cuts of paper, the different colors. It was really kind of interesting. Like the whole thing was really just kind of fascinating. And of course, beyond that, lots of paintings. They had dancers, wild costumes. Like the music part was kind of like a new interactive thing that they were just doing for this weekend that we went. Rise coffee. It's better for my blood sugar. It was kind of amazing. We didn't need timed appointments anymore to go and to go into the Uzimos display, and that was fun. They are this super famous Brazilian, like, I would call them graffiti artists, but like they've done so much more than that these days. They've painted entire buildings. Muralists would probably be a better way to describe it. They did the airplane for the Brazilian soccer team, like a 747. So the concept of a tagger doesn't quite fit them anymore. Dope murals. Exactly, Ronan. Very dope murals. Just incredible. Everything was just really beautiful and amazing. I'm working on this commission piece for this guy that's One Piece. So I've never really read One Piece before, and so I know about the cartoon, but I didn't really know too much about the manga. This is like very, very thick as far as like details and stuff go. Like I'll just pick a random page and there's just so much going on. It's just the black and white aspects of it are just very powerful and kind of interesting. So I picked this one up. He gave me a couple of things to kind of work and figure out what he wants. Do you do Charizard? I'm not sure. Isn't that a Pokemon? I think that's different. Hey WSG. I'm not sure if that means me. Hopefully that inspires you. Yeah, I think so. I think Ronan says hopefully that inspires you. Seeing Osjimos? Oh god, yeah, they're just incredible. I think there's something really amazing about them because they're brothers. They're the twins. And it's just, I don't know, it's just, there's something to be said about having like a partner in crime. You know what I mean? Like I've done most of this by myself my whole life. So I don't necessarily have, I don't really, you know, I have you guys, obviously, Mega Galeras, but I don't know that I don't have, you know, I have my wife, she's very motivating, my family's very motivating, but like, there's something to be said about like, you're on a ladder, you're on a 50,000 foot high careening tower painting something, having someone with you who's like, yeah, no, we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to do this. It's just nice. It just seems nice. Okay. Oh, WSG means what's good. Oh, okay. What's good? I'm old, man. I don't know why y'all think I know slang. I don't know slang. I'm 43. I barely know anything anymore. I know music. I'm great at music. but beyond that, I'm old. I'm sorry. Oak, hey, say it hi. Hi. Hello. Bon dia. Good morning. Let me see. Oak says hi. I'm old now, Ronan 41. Yeah, we're in the group. We got it. We understand. We got the things going. My wife reads manga, says Ronan. That's cool. Yeah, my wife reads a lot of manga. She reads it more online though. She doesn't really. I guess that's part of me being like the older version of it, because I really like the physical form versions of them. I like the tangible aspects of it. Like books to me are just sexy. So there's that. It's kind of always amazing to me to physically see stuff. Same amount of factor I think even with some of the manga, like some of the manga has like sprawling pages from side to side, but because it reads left to right, or sorry, right to left, and then down, when they do something that sprawls both pages, it kind of throws my brain off because it just feels difficult to follow almost for a sec. Like I got to reread the page twice. The textures of the pages. Yeah, I really like the textures of the pages too. It's very interesting to see the techniques of building an image in only black and white. Like for a long time, I only did images in black and white. And it was crazy because there's just so much detail you have to put in. And if you put too much in, then it doesn't make sense. There's so much experienced and expressed via color theory. But I do love like black and gray. Like white, black, and gray are incredible ways to kind of let everything really flow. I'm a big fan of watercolors too. I think a lot of times I've heard a lot of artists who are trying to get away from using black in watercolor altogether. They're more along the lines of like you can take two colors that are analogous and put them together, and they will kind of give you a black in a lot of ways. For example, if you mix red and green together, it oftentimes makes kind of a pseudo black. Purple and yellow. It's just kind of interesting. It's interesting to see like people's theories and ways that they like to do it. I personally like using black. My blacks are typically inks though. They're not necessarily watercolor black. I have watercolor black and I do use it, but I mostly use when I want true black, I use ink. It makes more sense to me. But I also believe in the idea of using mixed media. There's certain textures you can't pick up by doing kind of one medium. So like I'm known for doing lines with pencils, doing lines with markers, doing lines with oil pastels, doing lines with inks, honestly. I think it's partially like you have something that you're using something that's not water soluble while you're using other things that are very water soluble. So they have that kind of quality to them of an interesting madness that I'm always trying to kind of acquire in a lot of my paintings. Because I talk to you, I get all these ideas in my mind of things that I want to do with the painting that I'm going to do later. And I just find them really fascinating. I love the way art, in a lot of ways, has this quality to it that's uncanny. Because you can't really find something else in the world that's not art that makes you feel that way. And for the naysayers, because there's always naysayers, um, name something that isn't art. You know, something was created and made and put together and so on and so on. And it says, like looking into the mind's eye. Exactly. Exactly. I just really love it. I've I've loved being an artist for over 40 years now. It makes sense to me. I think the weird thing about social media is that most of the artists you see are like 21, 22, so on and so forth. And they're talented. They are very talented, but they're not well versed in everything because they just haven't been around that long. Like I remember being 20 and winning awards and doing all types of stuff, but like I'm so much better as an artist 20 years later. More, 23 years later. My perspective and my flexibility, it takes time. Exactly, Ron. My flexibility or my ideas is just something that like it took me a long time to like recalibrate in a lot of ways. Like a saying people used to say about me was I just didn't give a fuck. That's what they used to say. They were like, you just do whatever you want. You just don't give a fuck. And I was like, yeah. And like now, it's not that I don't care about what I do. It's that I've just learned that certain things aren't as important. And so beating myself up or getting really upset or doing whatever just isn't in the cards anymore. Like I really enjoy what I do. And so why ruin that with getting upset about something I can't control, you know? At some point in time, you just have to be kind to yourself and your ideas. And that will get you all the places you need to go, you know? It's just how it goes. Isn't an emotional release for you? Yeah, in a lot of ways. I feel like you've got all this energy kind of like teapotting and waiting to blow. And you can choose to be one with it, be upset with it, be whatever with it. I know you want to sit here. This way you can sit here, and there's no problem. Okay? All right. Producer Tom. And I don't know, it's just one of those things. You have to kind of learn to be flexible and then also not tie so much onto every little line. There are no failures, really. Producer Tom, they said hello. Say hello. That's the best you're gonna get. All right. This is his high. If he looks at you and he winks, that's kind of his high. Let me see. I find that playing music works too. Yeah, me too, honestly. I find a lot of music works really well. As the years have gone by, my music that really kind of inspires me has been more like old jazz albums, like records, or kind of a sultry blues type of thing. It's something that doesn't draw like a crazy amount of attention while I'm painting. He's totally putting his claws on my knees. Um, just doesn't draw the attention away from what I'm doing while I'm doing it. Like I try to pick something, like I put on the new Andre 3000 album where it's a blue album, he's got a piano on his back, and he's just kind of playing around for like 20 minutes. And I find that was really like a great album that I enjoyed thoroughly to paint to. And Dizzy Gillespie and kind of things like that. I've always found them to be really kind of gratifying as far as like art and culture. A lot of stuff mixes really well. Like I've always been kind of chasing this like Harlem Renaissance period of art where just the feelings of it, not the actual art, but the feelings of it really kind of grab and kind of mold me in a lot of ways. So let me see, what have I been working on recently? So I finished the last sketchbook a while back, so now I got this guy. And somebody asked me a while back why I started doing crowns all the time, and I was like, I don't honestly know, it just kind of got me. Music helps the paint flow. I like that. That's actually quite beautiful and expressive. Really like that. I like that a lot, actually. I'm gonna use that. So sketchbook wise, I'm still just working on patterns. I think textures are just kind of really important, and so you have to learn to just kind of make them subconsciously, because they're in everything. They're just in everything. You know, I haven't gotten far in this, don't get me wrong. I've been busy, you know, making stuff and doing stuff. I finished my other book that I'm doing. So I got a new one, a brand new one. I don't even know if I've written anything in this one yet. Oh, I did. Okay. Little notes for the mural, for the painting. This one. I've got so many. I've got like 30, 40, 50 of these things just everywhere, filled up and growing, you know? For show and tell, I'll grab this one. This one's old. This one's very old. Years upon years ago, people told me that one of the best things you could do was to acquire, I'm not going to use the S word, acquire postal stickers, free books of postal stickers from going into a local post office. And so for a while, I used to make kind of slaps, which are homemade stickers. You can put them anywhere. And I grew up, you know, Afro-Latino kid. So we had dominoes and stuff like that. So it's always been kind of like my thing, so to speak. So, like I said, stickers. One of my in-laws, when they were kids, said, dark is Halloween. And it's been one of my favorite things I think I've ever heard anyone say that's been repeated back to me. And, you know those stickers well. A like-minded individual. Nice. And so, like, a lot of luchadores, a lot of skulls, like Carolinas, stuff like that. So I've always kind of done these. Now, like I said, this is a very old book. I have since changed quite a bit of my style, but sometimes I go back to these when I want to fill little gaps, because I feel like they're just kind of intricate little weird like in steps to my soul in my creative process. I used to just go to coffee shops and just sit there and draw, and people would like walk around me and like look and see what I was doing. And I didn't mind it, but it was still kind of weird. So if you see people drawing in public, don't be weird. That's the best thing. Let me see. I love the Day of the Dead Skulls. Thank you. I grew up in a very Chicano community. So, although I am not Mexican, we have a lot of indigenous roots to Latin America, as well as Brazil and the DR and Panama. But so there's a lot of overlap. I have cousins in Guatemala. I've got family everywhere, and so in my mind, these kind of things are just kind of etched on the inside of my skin, almost like when you see like a blazer, and then it's got all these cool kind of intricate designs on the inside that only you see. That is what sketchbooks are for me. They are these intricate kind of things that I work on and I do that are mostly, they're just me doing me. And they're healthy, They're healthy and they're crazy and they're fun and they're all these things. You have to figure out how to use texture and page and imagery and weight and all those things. David Cho. I like David Cho's art. I don't necessarily like David Cho, I guess is the best way to put it. David Cho occasionally has said some wild shit, and so I don't always like David Cho. I think he's an incredible artist. I think he's fun. I love his story. Like the idea that he got paid. I like the idea that he got paid to do murals for Facebook, and instead, when Facebook had just started, and instead of getting paid in cash because they didn't have it, they paid him in stock. And then when Facebook blew up, he became a millionaire overnight. And before that, like, he was a poor Asian kid who had been to jail a bunch of times for graffiti and etc. And so his story is very interesting and kind of beautiful. But you also kind of end up with, like, in the same aspect, because of how he kind of came up, he goes on these wild tangents sometimes where it's like, oh, okay, you're very ghetto. I understand. And that's, just kind of how it goes. You guys ever seen Ghost Shrimp? Ghost Shrimp's actually really impressive. Can you grab a camera for the Lamar Jackson edit? Say hi. Can I grab a camera for the Lamar Jackson edit? I'm not sure what that means, but I got a camera right beside me. Why not? Do I have to take the lens cap off? Hi. How's it going? I got a camera. My camera. It's my Nikon. My baby. My D3500. This thing is taking pictures of everything and all things. I won't say all over the world because I haven't traveled too crazily since I got it. Because, money. But it's seen a good portion of the East Coast. We'll go with that. No, grab the camera that's filming. I'm sorry, Tom. I'm sorry. I made producer Tom mad at me. Go figure. Hello. This is me grabbing the camera. Am I looking for the filters? Is that what I'm doing? Am I looking at filters for this? I don't know who Lamar Jackson is. Nice camera. Thank you. I like it. It worked well. I'm very gray. I figured if I stayed farther away, you wouldn't notice as gray as I am. Yeah. No, grab the camera. That's filming. Okay. I don't know what we're doing, though. Y'all want anything from the gas station? Yeah, pretty much. That's about right. That is about right. Let me see. So I'm going to show you this painting now because I feel like you've all just really been here to see the painting. Turn a light on. So right now, this is where I am. It's got a crazy pose. This is what I mean when I say don't get caught up on like the small details, because like these are drips, but they're not, they don't take away from the painting. If anything, they're kind of more interesting. And I've still got a lot I got to do with all this stuff. But like I said, I go back to the sketchbooks, I pull little pieces, and then I just kind of grab them. At one point in time, I wanted to be like a tattoo artist. And so it made sense to me to kind of like draw my own like weird little styles on everything. And so that's kind of what I was doing, honestly. I was working on Freddy Krueger sucks. That's too funny. It's turning more gray every day. My face? Yes. Yeah. Well, all of us probably, yeah. A little bit. Do I want anything from the gas station? Hot fries. Go for it. Get going. Make it work. You guys want to see some more of this? I think you do. So I've always kind of just been, I don't know, I've always been working on stuff. I think that's our boy Jimmy. Thanks for showing us. You're welcome. And just little stuff. I mean, I always figured I was gonna like cover my body in like flash tattoos, and then I got older and I was like, I might want to just have tattoos that I actually want. And so I thought about designing my own flash tattoos out of silliness. And I mean, it's what they are. They're silly. I think the funny thing is like you go to museums and you get inspired by all these like weird things that people do. And it's just kind of interesting on the aspects of you realize how much of the art that you make is basically just kind of repetitive. But repetitive can be good because that means you're practiced at what you do. And I think practiced is really important. People like to say 10,000 hours. I would say until you are comfortable with what you do and how you draw, that's how long you need to work on it. When you can make a mistake and it's not the end of the world and you just keep going, that's when you've mastered what you do. That's when you've developed a style. That's when you've done all these things, because like you're able to focus clearly on everything without worrying so much about, oh, did I mess it up? Did I mess it up? Did I mess it up? Do you know Daniel Johnson? I believe so. I think I was looking at Daniel Johnson's work actually a couple days ago. It was interesting. He's one of those guys who's just got really beautiful work. And this was just like a comic. I had a weird dream one day. I've been having this dream recently where in the last 4 or 5 years, repetitively, where me and my wife get this house, and in the back of the house looks like it's a garage, but as you look up into it, the garage has like a double decker side to it, like a almost like the way a townhouse is. We've got like the bottom floor and stairs up to the top floor. So it looks like an old saloon, and I turned that into a giant studio. And in my mind, it's all like green tiles and all types of stuff like that. And it's just interesting. I don't know. It's been this weird recurring dream of mine for years now, of this backyard barn of sorts that's connected to the back of the house that I turned into a giant studio. Because you can see right now, I do not have a giant studio. I have a really small studio right now. I used to have a bigger studio, but we moved. So this is our beautiful yet temporary for a unspecific amount of time space. And it's beautiful. It's wonderful. I love it. I do. But I do miss having a lot of space as a studio, you know? I was playing this video game not too long ago. I forget what it's called. So that's not going to help you. I want to say Life is Strange, but that's not Life is Strange. It's something else. It'll come to me. I met somebody who had a tattoo of that actually once, which was really kind of funny. The main character is this cat named Bee. She comes back into town. And it's got like some Guitar Hero type vibes to it, where you gotta like rhythm type of things, which I'm not good at. So, although my wife has beaten the game, I've never actually beaten the game because it's kind of hard. That part of it is really difficult for me. And it's funny because like it's not really a pass-fail type of thing with the guitar thing. Like if you're not good at it, they just make fun of you. And then the rest of the story just continues. And there's lots of linear kind of paths you can go on it, which I really enjoyed and liked. But, yeah, you know, it's a good game. I find it best in a lot of ways. I have like a Nintendo Switch. We have like all the systems. But I have like a Nintendo Switch 1. Because now you have to kind of go that route. Choose your own adventure. Exactly. See, you and I are of the same decade though. So when we say choose your own adventure, like I know exactly what you're talking about. And I feel like a younger group of people would be like, yeah, like all video games. And you're like, no, like books. Like books. Before we all had games, we had books that were choose your own adventure. And you turn to like page 6 or page 25 when you're like fighting a dragon to see what you were going to do next. And sometimes you'd like read the book and you die. And so like you'd die in the story, you'd like fall in a cavern or whatever. I guess it's kind of a very Dungeons and Dragons type of thing. I used to, whenever I would change the page, whenever I change the page and I thought something was going to happen, I'd bookmark the spot. Definitely wouldn't get this reference. Bookmark the spot. So if I died, I could go back to the exact page that I made the bad decision and I could choose the other path. And a lot of times, either way you went, you'd still die. There was like a couple of paths that would get you to the book, but I was always just way too reckless. Once again, the whole not giving a fuck was always kind of a theme in my life for a long time, of just wild decisions for the sake. Yeah, you have to cheat. You have to you have to cheat. There's no way not to cheat. We'd go to the end of the books. We'd go to all types of stuff. Ugh, that hurt. And so it was just fun, you know? It was fun. We play Pac-Man, and we just do all these interesting little things, you know? Just things. Crazy, wild little things. I do think it's always funny though, because people like see these and they go like, oh, so this is how you draw. And it's like, no, this is how when I'm bored, how I do boredom sketches, or I try and do kind of interesting concepts of things that I want to work on, but they are not, it's no more the indication of what I paint like from this. This is more what I do, I guess, is kind of the thing. I love this. This is beautiful. But I haven't really done too many crazy ones of these in a while. The problem I always run across when I look at old sketchbooks is I go, man, why did I stop drawing like that? That was so much fun. And then when I think about it, I'm like, you hated that. That drove you crazy. You weren't making any sense when you were doing it. Thank you. I really like those, actually. I think those are fun. I wanted to do like a comic strip kind of style, but because I'm so everywhere all at once with my artistic ideas, it's hard for me to stay on projects like that because they require me to start and stop and start and stop and go and so on and so forth. This is my abuelo, William. He was a very tall and fun man, and he was just great. And I felt one day that I wanted to draw him, so I did. He's very tall. I'm only like 5'9". He was like 6'4". Very skinny. For those who want to screen grab, this is how you say in many different parts of Latin America. This is how you say dude in a lot of them. Tigre, che, boo. There's just so many ways to do it. Gui. Gui is probably the strangest one. Sounds like way. Gue. Some more little weird ones. Also sayings. I'm built like Street Being too. I was a little bulkier, and then I got sick, and now I'm more String Beanish. But I was like a string bean growing up as a kid, actually. And then randomly, I started working out when I was in high school with my friends. We do like Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu and stuff like that. And I bulked up for a while, and then like it was not. Yeah, he was 6'4". It's crazy. I was planning on putting this out so people could see it, so they could sign it like a guest book, but I never did. Maybe my next show, my next real show that I do, not a market, like a show, I'll try and leave it out so people can sign the backs of them. Did I do judo? I mean, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Did a lot of that. It was fun. It was easier when my hair wasn't as long. My hair was super long. It was difficult. You got to tie everything up top of your head, so you're all like this the whole time. You're kind of like this the whole time with stuff so that you don't step on your own hair. It's not even other people. It's literally just you. You are the problem. And yeah, just kind of stay like this. And then obviously without the hands. So like this. Crazy looking. Big gi. Sweaty. And then just kind of go from there. It was fun. It was a lot of fun, honestly. But I was a surfer, so it was kind of one of those things where we would surf, we would hit the mats, we would paint. It was cool. What's up, bud? What you doing? You hot? I'm sorry. Yeah. I agree. It does look good up. I never put it up though. I should, because it's hot. But, hi. You want to come sit with us again? You want to join us? Come on. Yeah, I know. Right. Stop showing your butthole. People don't need to see that. They don't need it. They don't need it. That's for the other site. That's for the other site where we make money on. Just cat buttholes. No. Yeah. I mean, it's just been nice. I think a lot of the... Like I caught that. I feel like a lot of the stuff is it's all part of the growing process. Like you grow and you get older and you do these things. That's why I think like a lot of these young artists who like make social media content and whatnot, like they're very interesting. I'll give them that, but there's just not a lot of. There's something to be said about if you do something because it makes money, you may not really be enjoying it. And I would rather enjoy it and make money while I'm enjoying it than I don't know. You realize like you'll spend that money and then you have your experiences to remember. Don't sell your soul, kids. There you go. Don't sell your soul. Ronan said it best. Don't sell your soul. Yeah. So I think we're good. I don't have much else to share. I'm sorry. But I will be back next week and we can do this all over again like we always do. All right. Hola Galeras, thank you so much. Painter out. Ciao. Our conversations are always wonderful. So I'll see you next time. Painter out. Cheers. From this guy too.